In this video, you'll learn what a factor is and how to find the greatest or highest common factor. Numbers that are multiplied together are called factors. For example, five times 4. In this expression, 5 and 4 are both factors. Most of the time, you'll have a number to start with and you'll have to break it down into factors. For example, if we take the number 50, I can break it down into a list of numbers that multiply together to give me 50. 1 times 50 is 50. 2 times 25 is 50. There's no 3. 4 times nothing will give me 50. And 5 times 10. Normally, once I get all of these factors, I'll put them in order from least to greatest. 1, 2, 5, 10, 25, and 50. So these are all the factors of 50. You can also find prime factors. The way to find prime factors is to do a tree diagram. Remember, prime means the number only has factors of 1 and itself. So when you break down the number 50, you want to generate prime numbers. So, if I'm thinking of factors that multiply to give me 50, we already wrote down these. I could start with 5 and 10, I could start with 2 and 25. It doesn't matter which two numbers you start with, the goal is to generate a list of prime numbers. So I'm going to say 5 times 10. Those two numbers, when multiplied, will give me 50. Now 5, the only way to make 5 by multiplying is to multiply 1 times 5, so it is prime. We circle it. 10, however, can be broken down further into 2 times 5. And both 2 and 5 are prime, so we'll circle those. At this point, we can write down that the prime factorization for 50 is 2 times 5 times 5, and sometimes you may want to simplify it and write 2 times 5 squared. Now, I'm going to give you two numbers and I'm going to ask you to find the greatest or highest common factor. You can use either of the methods mentioned above. So your two numbers to find the GCF, greatest common factor, or HCF, highest common factor, your two numbers are 24 and 36. You can use any method. So if you chose 24 and 36 and you chose to do it by list, for 24, I would say 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6, and there's nothing else because there is no 5. And for 36, I would say 1 times 36, 2 times 18, 3 times 12, 4 times 9. There is no 5, but there is a 6 times 6. We only have to write it down one time. Now, put them in order from least to greatest. So for 24, the factors are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. And for 36, in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36. If we were to compare these two lists, we notice that there are factors that each have in common. But what we want to do is find the one that is the greatest or the highest common factor. So as we look for the largest number that they have in common. 12. So the greatest common factor, or if you'd like to say highest common factor, is 12 between these two numbers. If you choose to do it by prime factorization, it would look like this. For 24, we would break it down. Let's say 2 times 12. You may choose something different. 2 is prime, and so I'll continue breaking down the 12. 2 times 6. 2 is prime. 6 can be broken down further. 2 times 3. Those are both prime. So for 24, the prime factorization is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And for 36, 4 times 9, you again may choose something different as long as it equals 36. 2 times 2, both prime here. And then here is 3 times 3 to generate 9. So I'm going to write it up underneath over here when I list out the prime factors so that I can compare. For 36, we have 2 times 2, in order again, 3 times 3. And what I want to do here is each time I see a pair, I want to write down the number that is part of that pair. So here is a pair, so I'll write down 2. Here is a pair, so I'll write down 2. Again, when I say pair, I'm saying when there is a number in common with both of the values you started with. And then here is a pair, so I'll write down the 3. And we multiply these values together. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12, so 12 is the GCF or HCF. Thank you.